Hey, it's abominableweapon.com. I'm in my room being tortured by Signals Intelligence, right? And these stupid fucks, what they love to do is pressurize my brain by putting in bullshit thoughts and ideas about, oh, well, there's an experiment. Dude, it's drivel because it's not an experiment. I don't talk about that on my website. I don't care if some dumbass fucking nigger TI says it's an experiment. They're stupid asses. This has been 70 years of them fucking making corpses, okay? That's what it's about. American government, hundreds of thousands of victims, slaughtering people. And they've slaughtered so many fucking people that, and what they like to do though in the literature and the documents is claim it's an experiment because then that gets them off the hook for the murder and the torture and the destruction. Okay? The experiments are long gone. You don't do experiments for 70 years. If they did some experiments at some point, they were able to get away with it then. But then once it was exposed as just hurting people, then it became weaponization and hurting people that they wanted to hurt because experiments were done and over with. Back in the 60s, man, it's finished. Then it became about selectively targeting people and taking their new weapons and using them. And I wouldn't call it an experiment either. If you put a person in a decompression chamber just because you want to test your decompression chamber, that's not experimentation, man. That has to do with just killing people. And all these gizmos, all these drugs and radiation weapons, space-based weapons, this fucking shit has been designed to fuck us up. And it's about there being just hundreds of thousands of people hurt by it now, and it just goes on. You don't do that for 70 years, and unfortunately the government still gets by with pushing a lot of false stories on the internet, and there's also a lot of people who don't even understand what's happened to them that they think it's an experiment. That's all gone. And there's no experiment here. This is all about them fucking raping and slaughtering people. When I'm sitting here having direct energy from a radar just focused, all these waves beaming into my fucking dick and shooting through my brain, that's designed to hurt me only. No medical purpose. It's banned by a lot of different laws too. And executive orders going back to the 70s and the 80s. And War Crimes Act, that is 1996 law, bans all types of stuff like this. Any type of torture, mutilation, maiming, sexual assaults. And it makes it a really strong offense when you get the death penalty. And that's... And it also says human experimentation. That's the Geneva Convention. It's fully ratified in America. So what this is, it's about them just violently assaulting people at this point. And that's all it's about. So if you're out in the streets, what they have, our government all over the United States has a huge fucking weapon designed to pick off people and fuck them up and make them lunatic fuckers. And it's designed to kill them in secret with radiation. And that's fucking serious, man, because they can knock out any person they want. I'm about to post a video on my site of, dude, they're sitting there listening to people's phone calls, including them having sex talk, just American citizens. And this is from 2009 or 8 on ABC Good Morning America. These NSA analysts, they're listening to your phone calls, regular old citizens. This is part of their system of control. So the analyst doesn't always know what's going on with the information. But up above, you have these high-level generals and officials who are using this surveillance system to be able to monitor everyday people who are being targeted by the government. And you got cell phones and satellites and internet and all that stuff is going in. All that data is being analyzed so they could track you as a target of government, right? And they're making fun of the stuff they're analyzing. It has nothing to do with terrorism. That's a cover story because they can easily eliminate every person as being a person of suspicion and just stop monitoring them, but they don't do it. They monitor every person 24/7. And there's automated algorithms that sort through this stuff, analyze the voice conversations and text conversations. And that's according to Russell Tice. So they're analyzing every call with an automated system. And then the people who go in there, they say, well, I want to know what you know, this person is like working for the newspaper, or she went to the newspaper. Let's say that they know that now they want to know what more about her. So they'll go into their system and find out who this fucking person is going to the newspaper because she's going in there talking about the government or something. Or all the media is monitored too. So if you go to the media, they automatically know you're going in there. And all the email communications, all the fucking talking, who's in and out of a building, even the reporters' own homes are fully monitored. And all the time. New York Times, fucking CNN, RT, everyone. Watch MSNBC when Russell Tice is talking about that from 2009. Anyway, and that's just one part of the system, because Russ Tice is one part of the system. There's all sorts of other systems out there, okay? And there's people with agendas at different levels in government. And we're hearing about things from one side, and there's other sides. Like Dr. Robert Duncan, he's talking about people being targeted to control them, to kill them, to do things to them, and get away with those types of things. And running operations on society, spoofing society, messing around with people in society who are helpless and defenseless. So there's a lot of different sides to what's going on. And it's all part of the same side, because on the side of the criminal justice side and the side of monitoring for terrorism, that side, they have so much authority and power that they're watching all this and approving it. They're letting it go on because they see it. They're recording everything. They're in and out of every system. They're watching entire police forces. They're watching the operation go down, and they're just sitting there on their ass not doing nothing about it because they're letting it go on. They're doing it. So the surveillance stuff, it's able to record everything. It analyzes everything. And there's a lot of people out there complaining that they're being stalked, impacted with directed energy. That's from radar and satellites. It just fucking beams down from the antenna, focuses right on that person through their body tissue, and does things to them in a programmed way. That's serious. And our government has a tool that it is fully capable of seeing what's going on with that, and they're using it. They're not doing nothing to stop it. And they already know what's going on. That's why none of the victims can get help. That's why I want to see everyone prosecuted. Every single person. We have enough probable cause to go in and criminally investigate every single public official now. And if they were involved in this, then they got to get out of the system. They're a felon. They can't be in Congress anymore. They can't be a police officer. They need to be put in the jail. They need to be executed if they've hurt someone or they've killed somebody. And they all, as a whole, if they committed a conspiracy together to cover it up, and they have people working all over the place, man, just all over it for them. By the way, a long time ago, I used to, hear people talk about how, the government gets people to spy for them. In my opinion, that's going on today. You're getting regular old people in society to spy on people and to work for the government. It's the same as it always used to be. I've seen it. I've seen that they can go into any state agency, any they get the girls at the coffee shop watching you type bullshit. Okay? They can get any police officer watching you and doing this and ready to